What up, YouTube? It's me, Isaac, coming to you with another edition of my life. So every now and then I pull out my Yu-Gi-Oh decks and see if I can improve them with my collection of cards. And I, as I stated in a couple of my videos, I found my local card shop, which has different tournaments throughout the week. Fridays are Beyblade, so if I'm lucky, I'll be able to actually learn how to play Beyblade, which would be freaking awesome. My As I stated on my birthday video, my older brother, got me a complete new series of Beyblades that can be taken apart and rebuilt into a your own custom Beyblade, which is like really freaking kick butt. And if I'm lucky, and I highly doubt I am this lucky, I'll be able to make it spin to the right, which I doubt. I really, really doubt I'll be able to. But if I'm able to make it spin to the right instead of the left, that would be freaking awesome, because it would kind of be like it reminds me of Metal Fusion, Metal Masters, and I can't remember the third Metal series of Beyblade, but it reminds me of dadgummit, what's his freaking name? Jenga's the good guy with one of the good guys with Pegasus, and Kinta's another good one with Sagittario, and Bull's another good one with that's odd. I think my cat's in here, but I'll find out later. But yeah, I can't remember the villain of I mean, I can't remember the villain of the Metal series, which kind of, oh wait, Ryuga. That's it. It was Ryuga and El Drago, which when I hear the name El Drago, the only thing I think of is Bakugan Battle Brawlers for the DS and the show on Cartoon Network. Oh, and Switch, which they rebooted the show, which I have the game for. I just don't know where it is at the moment. But yeah, it's really cool that my brother and I found my local card shop, which, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to find card shops in other cities that I visit, and I'll be able to enter a couple of tournaments there, depending on if I've got the cards, or if I've got or it depends on what card game they're playing, be it Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, which are all three tournaments that my local card shop has, which is really freaking cool. And like I said, on Fridays they have Beyblade, which I'd really like to learn how to play, because, well, I've been collecting, well, quote unquote, collecting Beyblades ever since the original Beyblade series, back with Tyson, which I think that just aged me a lot when I said that I remember the original Beyblade series, which it was pretty cool. And I remember going over to my cousin's place, and we spent hours upon hours playing the PS2 game of Beyblade. It was awesome. It was my cousin on my dad's side, and I remember when I wasn't learning guitar with one of my uncles, I would be playing Beyblade with my other cousin, and it was awesome. Whenever I had the controller in my hand, it was just kind of like well, hypothetical electric shock that felt like I was actually in a Beyblade arena, which is awesome as all holy heck. And it's the same electrical charge I got I get whenever I've got a guitar in my hand now. It's not an actual electric charge that I feel going throughout my body, but you know when you have a lot of endorphins and you're like running on running on nirvana and happiness. It's that shocking feeling, which is awesome to go through. I remember the first time I went through that. It was a week before my 8th birthday back in 98, and and every so often we'd go over to my grandma's place just for the heck of it. And my uncle, my late uncle now, may he rest in peace, he would always be playing his guitar, which a week from my 8th birthday, he saw that I was very intrigued he saw that I was watching him very, very, very intently. Like I wanted to learn how to play. And the second he passed me what is now considered my main guitar, I will get to that in a minute. But the second he passed me his guitar, I felt a I felt the same jolt that I feel whenever I'm like super happy or meditating, which I now know that's what the electrical charge was, at least after learning how to meditate thanks to my cousin. My mom said they know who they are. They know it was awesome that they taught me that. And so once my uncle passed me the guitar, it was like something in me clicked. Like this this guitar will be mine one day, and it actually ended up happening, which I won't say what my cousin said to me, because it was kind of one of those moments that are supposed to be kept between two people. But I will say this. He told me, he handed me a very, very, very familiar guitar case that I knew exactly what guitar was in it. And I was like, I can't take this. He was like, go ahead, she's yours now. And I look over my shoulder to see my mom standing in the doorway, where he told me to follow him to another. He told me to follow him to where he kept the guitar, and he just handed me the guitar case and said, "Here, this is yours now." And I on after losing my uncle, I honestly thought that I would never play again for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. It I just didn't have I was in a not so good mind space at the time because I had essentially lost one of my best friends that he taught me one of the best things that I had ever been taught at the time. And it's just weird that he's gone now, and that conversation I had with my cousin when he handed me the guitar case is one of the best conversations I've ever had, where I honestly didn't know if I was able to keep it together. Kind of like how it looks like I'm about to start tearing up now, because I'm sharing some really cool memories, and it's just wild that I can I can go from talking about card games and what have you to transitioning to talking about essentially losing one of my best friends. And I wasn't the only one that learned how to play on our family guitar, but I will say this: the biggest thing that my cousin had said is, "She's yours now." I can't even finish that sentence because I know if I do, I will break on camera, because one of the it was one of those moments where I was in shock. And well, actually I was in shock the entire time I was at the celebration, at my uncle's celebration of life. But but the moment my cousin said what he said about the guitar, it was like a it was both a cool moment between me and my cousin, and at the same time it was like something in me was like, you you won't play again. And by you, I mean I won't play. My mind was telling me I wouldn't play again, which honestly, I am honestly surprised that I am able to play now, because of how freaking because of uh how freaking I don't even know how to say this, but you know what I mean. But I honestly thought that I would just turn my guitars into wall hangers, and that was until my uncle on my mom's side randomly sent me a video. Like, I think it was like 7 to 9 months. Like, I know I said 6 months, but it was probably like 7 to 9 months after we lost my uncle. And the moment I hit play, it felt like the it felt like I needed to grab my guitar, which I hadn't felt like that since my cousin handed me the guitar case. I honestly didn't think I would open it for. Honestly never thought I'd open it again. But the moment I heard the first chord of the video that my uncle sent me, I knew that I would be giving up on my biggest dream of becoming a musician, and that would just put all my late uncle's faith in me and my mom's faith in me down the drain. Which I know my dad had faith. I know my entire family had faith in me, but after losing the first person to say, "Here, bud, give it a try," um, I never thought I'd play again, which I'm really thankful to my uncle for sending me that video and reminding me what I was about to give up, or what I thought I was gonna give up, which is, you can tell I'm tearing up just talking about my late uncle. And I'm so thankful. The second I heard the first chord of the video that my uncle had sent me, it was like I hadn't put the guitar down, and it was weird because I had kept my guitar on the other side of my room, and I don't know how, but it was like the bond between me and my late uncle had brought the guitar to me without me even opening the case. At least I don't recall how I don't recall crawling over to open the case. I just remember pushing play and then automatically holding the guitar, and I was playing along like I always had been. I don't know if I ever thanked my uncle for that. Well, I know I sent him messages. I know I sent him a couple of messages on Facebook to tell him thanks about that. Like months after I had started playing again, but I don't know if I can't recall if I've ever personally said thank you to him in person, and I know I haven't said thank you to him in a video yet. So, to that uncle that sent me that video, thank you very much. You know who you are. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't. If it weren't for you and my late uncle, I would not be the musician that I am today. And I would have given up on my dreams, which would have actually sucked. And I just can't thank that uncle enough for reminding me what I would have given up. So this is kind of a really weird video to go from card shop to go from talking about my local card shop to talking about my my experience as a guitarist from the beginning to my to the like 6 to 9 month break I had taken. It's just really bizarre that I could go from all that to it's just weird how the ideas just for my videos randomly pop into my head, which I freaking love the fact that my videos are so freaking random. It's, well, strike that. Some of my videos are random. Some of them are, obviously food reviews, as y'all seen in some of my past videos. And, some of them just have deeper meanings to them than, which those ones are the ones that are like truly random. And this one is one that was truly random because I had, what made me want to do this video is I'm looking over to my shelf, and the way my eyes are, I can see my shelf that holds my deck box. Well, one of my deck boxes, because I have 2 Digimon decks, which is awesome. But it holds my newest Digimon deck, which I and I'm hoping on Amazon Prime Day to get a third deck that is a TK, and I think it's a straight yellow deck, kind of like how Magic has like, I think it's 5 different things: red, blue, green, and black, and yellow. Red, blue, green, black, yellow. And I think there might be a 6th one that is like super hard to pull, even in a deck. And so Digimon's an interesting card game, which I did a video on me going to the local card shop and learning how to play, which the guy who taught me how to play, I never got I did ask him his name, but I can't remember. I'm not that great with names, which sucks. But it was so much fun learning how to play, because I only had one deck that until my brother and I walked out of the I quote unquote walked out of the the back room, which is where they hold where they teach people how to play cards, be it Pokemon, Magic, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, if they want to learn the new formats. And as soon as I walked into the main store, back into the main store, because their play area where you can meet the players of the whatever card game, and they will teach you the card game rules, the people who work there, at least one, which is awesome. And yeah, as soon as I walked up to the front of the store, I noticed that they had more Digimon decks, and I wanted to expand my card collection, which is awesome to do if you're a player of any card game. And so I called my dad and asked him if I could get another deck, which I did, and it was a yellow deck, which is a Crest of Hope deck, which is honestly one of my favorite crests from the original 8. Wait, I think it's 7, but I can't recall off the top of my head. Wait. Courage, friendship, knowledge, sincerity, love, hope, and I think there was one more before they got to the crest of light, which, I mean, actually, wait, it was crest of light. So it's really weird because the two crests that actually belong together in decks, or rather in any format, be it the anime or the card game, is actually the Crest of Hope and the Crest of Light. Those two actually are like the one version of the yin and yang symbols, because they're like two sides of the same coin. And I remember thinking during '02 at Digimon Adventure 2 that the two people who held those crests were going to end up together, and I always hoped they would, even back during the original run of Digimon. I thought they would have ended up together in the future because the like I said, the two crests are yin and yang for each other. Light and hope are two sides of the same coin, in my opinion, which is awesome. And I just thought that was really cool. And I've been a huge Digimon fan ever since the start of Adventure, and I'm actually playing. Um, so I told you about my how many freaking times I had to send in my Switch Lite, which I'm finally playing again. Which obviously I've been playing for a little while now, but I finally decided to start adventures, uh, my adventures as a DigiDestined series back up, which I think I've done one or two since I've gotten my since I got my Switch back again. So so yeah, you can look forward to more episodes of my adventures as DigiDestined, or my adventures as Mega Man, my adventures as a trainer, which is obviously Pokemon related content, which I haven't done yet, but that's just because I haven't actually had a chance to look at Gen 9, except for to download the DLC, which I can't wait to switch. I can't wait to actually get to play the DLC, because it's kind of weird to start. I only know that it starts like an hour after you get your main Pokemon, where you can go to the where you get your starter Pokemon. But I never actually got to even see the DLC because of, well, I honestly think it was, um, I don't want to say bad craftsmanship of the Switch Lite, which I own, but yeah, I talked about Switch Lite versus regular Switch repairs in an earlier video, so I will put a pin in that. And it's just funny to me that I can talk about all these topics in one giant video. And as you can tell that there aren't tears escaping my eyes since I've spent a few minutes talking about another topic. But I digress. So yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks uh since I learned to play Digimon, which is a very fun game. It's a lot harder than the original Digimon game. Well, it's still the same game, but there's like a lot more rules to it, and it was kind of hard to follow along. But I knew that I would. I knew that in my first game, back when I got to the card shop, that I was going to. I knew that I was gonna get my butt handed to me because, like I said, I hadn't played since back in high school when we had Digimon uh, TCG tournaments during lunch. If it weren't Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, it was Pokemon tournaments, either on our DSs, which those were a lot harder to do because, well, we had to, let's just say we had to sneak our DSs into school. We could bring our cards, but we couldn't bring our DSs. But I remember one time I was playing my DS before school, and I had set it down to I had set it in my chair so I could get ready for school, and I had completely forgotten that I had set it in my chair side pocket, and it had actually fallen out of my chair side pocket, which is how I managed to get my DS into school, which was completely funny to me, but that was the only time I had taken that I took my DS to school, which I never would have done, but I had set it in my chair side pocket just so I could get ready for school. Although now thinking back, I probably should have gotten ready for school before I picked up my DS. Kind of stupid that I did that backwards. And it's just really wild that I could talk about all these topics, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm having a blast tonight, and yeah, I will be back with another episode of my adventures as a Digidestin in the future, maybe near future, but it all depends on if I can get through the let's just say the start of Digimon Cyber Sleuth is very, very, very tricky, and I'm trying to get my Digimons a bit. I don't know what ABI stands for. I know COM stands for I actually forget what COM stands for, but I'm trying to get both of those up above 100 before I even move on to like the actual main game. So I've just been running around taking on Digimon just so I could get my Digimon stronger and stronger and stronger, and then de-digivolve them to get them even stronger and stronger and stronger than they are, which I've had my game in sleep mode for a while now, so The ones in the Digifarm are probably actually at max level. I'll have to check that when I pick up my Switch in it after this video is done. But yeah, it's just really weird that I can get all these topics out in a video that is probably my third or fourth longest video, which I know my longest video is close to 90 minutes, and this is close to 40 minutes. It is actually, let's see, 35 minutes and 35 seconds long, which is weird, but yeah, I'm having a blast tonight. I know I will always have. I know I'm about to have even more of a blast playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I beat it on. I beat both games, Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, on PlayStation 4, but then they came out with the complete edition on Switch, and I have not beaten them on Switch, at least not with a good team. Plus, I've been switching between. Plus, like I said, I had been playing Mega Man for a while, and so this is like my first playthrough of Digimon since I got my Switch back. And I will do a video on that after I get to like where my team's actually competent instead of just like rookies and maybe one or two champion Digimon, which I will not reveal who I have at this point because it'll be more fun for me to reveal which ones I have when I actually get around to another episode of my adventures as a Gigi Destin. But yeah, I'm your host, Isaac Rellet. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as shit will. Peace out, y'all.